Have you ever wondered why brilliant people with PhDs go broke while ordinary people who make modest salaries retire with millions of dollars? It makes no sense, right? We are taught that finance is like math, that if you learn the formulas and follow the rules, you will win the game. But that is a lie. Doing well with money has surprisingly little to do with how smart you are and everything to do with how you behave. And behavior is incredibly hard to teach, even to really smart people. We think of finance as a hard science like physics or chemistry where input A always leads to output B. But the real world does not work that way because humans are not robots. We are emotional, irrational creatures driven by fear, greed, envy, and the desire for social acceptance. Today we are diving into the hidden forces that control your wallet based on the iconic book, The Psychology of Money. By the end of this video, your entire relationship with wealth will change forever. Let me tell you a story about two very different men who live completely opposite lives. The first is Ronald Read. Ronald was a philanthropist, an investor, a janitor, and a gas station attendant. He fixed broken cars and swept dusty floors for most of his life. He lived in a tiny house he bought for $12,000 and stayed there until he passed away. When Ronald died at age 92 in 2014, the quiet janitor made international headlines. He left behind over $8 million. He did not win the lottery. He did not inherit a fortune from a wealthy relative. He simply saved what little he could from his modest paycheck and put it into blue-chip stocks. Then he let compound interest do its magic for decades. Now let us look at the second man, Richard Fuscone. Richard was the exact opposite of Ronald. He was a Harvard-educated Merrill Lynch executive with an MBA. He was so successful in finance that he retired in his 40s to become a major philanthropist. Richard bought an astronomical mansion in Connecticut with 11 bathrooms, 2 pools, and 2 elevators. He borrowed heavily to fund his lavish lifestyle and made aggressive bets on the market. Then the 808 financial crisis hit. Richard's investments collapsed instantly, and his massive debt caught up with him. The same year Ronald Read was quietly growing his millions, Richard Fuscone declared bankruptcy and had his massive mansion foreclosed. Think about this for a second. In what other industry can someone with no college degree totally outperform a Harvard MBA? Could a janitor perform heart surgery better than a trained surgeon? Could a gas station attendant design a skyscraper better than an architect? It is literally impossible. But in personal finance, it happens all the time because money is not a science. It is a soft skill where how you behave is more important than what you know. Your financial outcomes are driven by your relationship with risk and greed, not your IQ. The only way to survive the unpredictable nature of life is to build a massive room for error into your plans. Most people think a financial plan is a single line that shows where they will be in 10 years. But a real plan is a guide that assumes your first plan will fail. Think about the construction of bridges. Engineers do not build a bridge that can support exactly the maximum weight of the trucks crossing it. They build a bridge that can support 8 times that weight just in case an unexpected disaster happens. You must do the same with your money. This means saving money even when you have nothing specific to save for. We are conditioned to think we should only save for a car, a house, or retirement. But saving for things you cannot predict is the ultimate financial superpower. Every dollar you save that is not allocated to a specific purchase is a piece of your future freedom. It is a shield against the unexpected layoff, the sudden illness, or the sudden economic downturn. If you have a gap between your income and your expenses that you simply save, you are buying options for your future self. It gives you time to think and make choices on your own terms rather than being forced by desperation to accept whatever scraps the world throws at you. This brings us to the single highest dividend money pays. And no, it is not luxury cars or giant houses. The highest dividend money pays is control over your time. Having the ability to do what you want when you want with who you want for as long as you want is the ultimate level of wealth. Psychologists have studied what actually makes people happy. It turns out it is not the size of your salary or the prestige of your job title. The strongest common denominator of happiness is a feeling of control, knowing that you are the author of your own day. If you have a high-paying job, but you have to work 80 hours a week and cannot see your family, you are actually poor in the ways that matter most. But if you have a modest bank account that allows you to take a lower-paying job with flexible hours so you can walk your kids to school, you are incredibly wealthy. Money should be used to buy options. It should buy you the freedom to change careers when you get burned out. It should buy you the peace of mind to sleep well at night. Do not use your money to buy status symbols that lock you into a golden cage of high expenses and endless stress. True wealth is the money that you choose not to spend on things today so that you can have choices tomorrow. We live in a world that confuses spending money with having wealth. When we see someone driving a $100,000 car, we automatically assume they are wealthy. But the only math you can actually do about that person is that they have $100,000 less than they did before they bought the car. Wealth is what you do not see. Wealth is the cars not purchased, the diamonds not bought, the watches not worn, and the first-class ticket skipped. Wealth is financial assets that have not yet been converted into the stuff you see. The trouble is that it is very easy to find role models who are good at spending money. It is much harder to find role models who are good at building wealth because their success is hidden from view. Most people want to be millionaires, but what they actually mean is they want to spend $1 million. And spending $1 million is the exact opposite of being a millionaire. When you use money to show people how much money you have, you are making yourself poorer every single day. The next time you feel the urge to buy something expensive just to impress strangers, remember that no one is impressed by your stuff as much as you are. They are looking at your car, imagining themselves driving it, not looking at you. Everything in life has a price. The problem is that with money, the price tag is often invisible. Let us say you want a new car that costs $80,000. You can pay that price, or you can steal it, or you can buy a cheaper model. Most people understand this. But let us say you want to invest in the stock market to get an annual return of 10%. What is the price of that return? The price is not listed in dollars. The price is volatility, fear, uncertainty, doubt, and regret. You have to watch your portfolio drop 30% in a single week and resist the urge to panic sell. You have to accept the sleepless nights when the media says the economy is ending. Many people try to avoid paying this price. They try to time the market buying and selling to get all the gains with none of the pain. But that is like trying to get the $80,000 car without paying for it. It is financial shoplifting, and the market always catches up to shoplifters. When you invest, do not look at volatility as a fine or a punishment for doing something wrong. Look at volatility as a fee. It is the price of admission to get those incredible long-term returns. Once you accept this fee as a normal part of the journey, you stop panicking and you start winning. At the end of the day, money is not just numbers on a screen. Money is a mirror. It reflects your fears, your insecurities, your hopes, and your deepest desires. We spend our entire lives chasing more of it, believing that the next milestone will finally make us feel secure and complete. But the goalposts keep moving. Every time we get a raise or a bonus, we look at the next step up the ladder and feel unsatisfied. And if you do not know how much is enough, you will eventually risk what you need to get what you do not even want. True financial success requires knowing when to stop moving the goalposts and when to let your money just give you peace. So let me leave you with one final thought to carry with you today. If you stripped away all the things you buy to impress other people who are actually too busy thinking about themselves to even notice you, how much money would you really need to be truly happy? That's all for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic, so let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support really keeps me going. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video. Bye.